Hi, my name is Sarah Bader King and I'm the Director of Programs and Curator here at the Wornall Majors House Museums. Today we're doing a peek behind the scenes and I'm going to share with you one of our newest items that we have just accepted into our collections and what the process looks like for accepting objects. When I say collections, I'm referring to all of the objects that we hold in the museum for exhibit, education, and research purposes. We specifically collect objects from the mid-19th century, especially those that relate to life on the Missouri-Kansas border. We have just received a donation of a copy of The Pilgrim's Progress by John Bunyan. The Pilgrim's Progress was written in 1678 and is a Christian allegory that is regarded as one of the most important theological works of fiction in English literature. When we receive a donation offer, the first thing we do is collect any information that the donor has about the object. We then do our own research to confirm any details and date the object as closely as we can. As curator, I then make a recommendation to accept or decline the donation. We decline offers if they don't fit within our scope of collections, if it is a duplicate of something we already have, or if we are unable to properly conserve, store, or care for it. If my recommendation is to accept the item, the board of directors must make a vote to formally accept it into our care. So the copy that was donated to us is wonderful because it actually belonged to Richard Wornall, John's father, and it was donated to us by a Wornall family member. So this was an easy acceptance on our part. And I actually have the book here. You will notice that I am wearing white gloves. It protects the item from the oils on my fingers and hands. We almost always wear gloves when we're handling collections objects. So as you can see, and I will pop up some pictures in a second here, but you can see that Richard Wornall actually put his signature in the front, and there are also several childlike drawings of horses and carriages. This edition was published in 1844 when the Wornalls had already arrived in the Kansas City region from Kentucky, so this may have been purchased locally. We don't know who did the drawings, but some are done in a blotchy ink that may have been from a quill or early fountain pen, making the likely culprit one of John's children. There are also some done in a smoother blue ink, which probably wouldn't have been done until the 1880s or 1890s. Still really, really cool. John seems to have been a really big fan of John Bunyan. We have a letter that was written to him by a friend named Samuel Howard Ford from Bedford, England, where Bunyan lived. The letter says in part, quote, "My dear brother Wornall, I am sitting in the cottage where Bunyan lived and prosed, where his poor family lived during his 12 years' imprisonment. While sitting here and writing a word to my wife, I thought I would drop a line to you, who love the doctrine of grace which the heroic man preached," end quote. So this man obviously associated Bunyan with John. He even sent John a picture of Bunyan's cottage. This photograph, as well as the letter, were kept in the Wornall family Bible, nestled among family photographs. There were no other letters found in the Bible, so John must have treasured this letter and photograph of Bunyan's home, as well as his relationship with his friend Samuel Howard Ford. So our board of directors did obviously accept Richard Wornall's copy of The Pilgrim's Progress into our collections. So I will now process it by putting all of the information we know about it into our collection software, marking it with what we call an accession number, and putting the item safely in storage. An accession number is a unique number that we assign to all items in our museum that allows us to quickly look up donor and item information. For a book, we typically mark the accession number on the inside front cover with a pencil. For other types of items, we may use a special pen to mark the bottom, like on this vase. Or we may attach a tag to an item with unbleached cotton thread, like on this pair of sewing scissors. Donors also complete paperwork called a deed of gift form that transfers ownership of the item to our institution. And that's it. Now we can use the object for educational or display purposes. Typically, new items in our collection are put into storage until they can be integrated into our existing exhibits in a logical way. I hope to get the Pilgrim's Progress on display soon because it's such a special object with family history, but it's also a little bit fragile, and it's our duty to make sure we are taking care of these items the best we can. Hopefully you can see it on a future trip to the Worrell House. Thanks for listening.